Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Lim. I'm the Managing Director here at Action Coach Bolton. And we're going to spend the next 35 minutes or so talking about what you can do in your business, the 11 steps your business must start today to combat the economic panic that's around from COVID-19. So that's why this is called Plan. Don't panic. I'm going to get rid of my video now, so you don't see me, you just see the screen. Don't want to put you off. And let's get started. So the first step is all about communication. Communication is absolutely key with your businesses. Here we go. So communicate. So crisis communications is really, really important. Focus on building a relationship with your customers. And most importantly with your team. They're the people that you need to be speaking to on a daily basis. Do you communicate with your team now? Or do you just communicate with them on an ad hoc basis when something goes wrong? So think about how you communicate with them as well. Is it going to be directly face-to-face? Because more people are going to be working from home. So you communicate by video, by something like Zoom, like as we're doing now, by phone. But give them regular updates. Give them regular updates on your thinking, how you're moving the business forward, what your plans are, what your goals are for the business. Really, communication is absolutely key with your team at this stage. Show good leadership. Also, think about your customers. Think about how you can tell them what they need to know about your business that's going to make them want to carry on working with you. What steps are you taking? What things are you doing differently? What challenges have you overcome to make sure that they can continue to buy and buy more from you? Communication with your customers is absolutely vital. Think about your wider networks as well. And think about your suppliers and stakeholders, particularly your suppliers. How's their supply chain being affected? And therefore, how's your supply chain being affected? So communication with them is key. If you can tell them what you're doing and what your plans are, not only will that be able to help them to plan more effectively, but they may get some ideas about their own situation that will help them to service you more effectively. So communication with your suppliers is absolutely vital. And also your community, your wider community. What industry associations are you involved with? What online groups are you involved with? What networking groups are you involved with? Communicate with all of them. Make sure you're telling them what you're doing and the steps that you're taking to minimize the impacts on the service that you're delivering to them and any new products and services that you're delivering to them that you can deliver. So communication, communication, communication. You'll see that word coming up time and time again as we go through this. What else can you do? Press releases, things like that. Let people know what you're doing. Sitting in the dark doesn't help, either for you or for your customers or your team or the wider network. So make sure you're keeping people informed. The second step is just to be positive. Be positive. There's a quote from JFK here, and it's about Chinese using two brushstrokes to write the word crisis. Now, maybe given where this coronavirus started, using this isn't probably the best choice, but I think it just highlights what crisis means. One brushstroke stands for danger, the other for opportunity. So be aware of the danger, yeah, but recognize the opportunities for your business. Negativity is going to be all around us at this point, but how do we become the most positive person in the world? How do we become the most positive person in the room and the most positive person amongst your customers and suppliers? So everybody's looking to you for that positivity. Think about your suppliers, think about your customers. Just in every massive change, there's always opportunity. Panic and worry never helps anybody. And look for the small wins that you can get. Look for every single opportunity in your business, every hour of the day. Don't think about it on a global scale. Think about individual small things you can do to move you forward. How negativity is going to be everywhere. And if you're positive, it's going to attract people towards you. Definitely going to attract people towards you. Third point here is how can you sell toilet? How can I sell toilet paper? How can you sell toilet paper? So by that we mean, what is your toilet paper? What is it in your business that is the equivalent of the current run on things like toilet paper and hand sanitizer? And actually, sometimes less news is better. So, yes, communicate effectively, but communicate the right things. Communicate what you're doing and communicate it well, to improve your opportunities and market positively in your business. And most importantly of all, lead your people. Be a great leader. Be a great positive leader about moving forwards in this time of crisis. You might have to deliver bad news, but be a good leader when you're doing it. The third step is to know the financial cycles. We work on a 7 to 10 year cycle, and you'll have seen it time and time again. When you get to my age, you've seen these cycles come and go. We've been in the summer, where everything's been great. We're in the autumn now, and it's rapidly turning to winter with this particular crisis. But spring's only just around the corner. Spring's only just around the corner. I mean, in the next 2 weeks, watch what's happening in China. We've already seen signs from them, if you believe what's the news that's coming out of China, that the virus has peaked, and that the reported number of new cases is now going down. And it could be over the worst. And look at what's happening in Italy. They're at the worst stage at the moment. So it's definitely going to be less than a year, and it might be as little as 60 to 90 days. Some people are even saying 30 to 60 days until we're starting to see the other side of this. The light's not been switched off. The light's still on at the end of the tunnel. So the important thing for us is to understand exactly where we are. There's a lot. You've seen this. If you look at the financial crash of 2008, we went through a period there where we went into autumn and then into winter, but we quickly came out of it, within a relatively short period of time, and back into spring and summer again. So understand the cycles, understand the financial cycles, and understand the cycles for your business, and for this short-term crisis that we're going through right now. The next thing is about change. The next step is around change. And as you can see, the only constant in life is change. So you can't wait. You've got to take action now. You've got to get ahead of the game by taking the action you need to take. It's up to you to lead the change. Make sure that you're ahead of the game, ahead of your competitors, ahead of the crisis by making the changes you need to make in your organization now and planning for the future. Make sure you're marketing effectively. If any of you have seen, if any of your action coach clients on this call, then you'll know this formula for change. Dissatisfaction times vision plus first steps has got to overcome resistance. So how much dissatisfaction is there in your business at the moment? Can you build a good enough vision to overcome that? And then what steps are you going to take to make sure you overcome the resistance of people to buy from you for your business to move forwards? Think about the things you need to change as well, particularly around products. What products are you selling now? How do you need to change those products to make sure they're appealing to people? It might be that you need to stop selling some products and start selling some products you're not even selling at the moment to attract a new market, because people aren't going to be buying what you're selling. Think about your services. If you're service driven, how can you deliver those services differently to make more people want to buy them? Do you need to go online? What do you need to do to change the services? Think about your pricing, your delivery, your staffing levels, and about what you need to change in those. We'll go into a little bit more detail in some of those in a minute. You might even need to change the whole business. You've got to get leaner, faster, better. Think about change. Think about it this way. Think about climate change, and think all the initiatives and challenges that are being put into place to combat climate change. Some people think climate change isn't a thing, but what's the worst that can happen if we implement all the changes that people have talked about? The worst case scenario is we just end up with a much better environment. Worst case scenario is we're combating climate change when it's at its worst. And it's the same with this crisis. Put some plans into place now. If you don't need all of them, then they're there. Make the change you need to make now to make your business a better business, make it a leaner, more effective business, make it faster. And if the worst doesn't happen, then you're in a much better position. If the worst does happen, then you're still in a better position. So think about your business. You can't wait. Take action now. The next thing you need to think about, before we move on, you might even need to break your business and put it back together in a different way to make it work. So think about that. Think about that really carefully. In the financial crisis of 2008, Brad Sugar's our founder. One of the businesses that he owned was an RV sales company. So they were selling RVs. And with the financial crisis, people stopped buying. The oil prices went up. So the whole cost of manufacture went up. Cost of running the vehicles went up. So they changed their business completely from selling RVs to actually a rental business for RVs. And they survived because they changed the business model. So what do you need to change in your business to make it work right now? The next stage is to cut back. Cost cutting's got to be really top priority in a crisis. If you can lower your costs intelligently and flexibly, then you stand much better chance of surviving the current situation. So think about things like your cash flow. Cash is king. Turnover is vanity, profit is sanity, but cash is king. Make sure you're getting your cash in as quickly as possible and stop spending unless it's an absolutely vital cost to your business. Absolutely vital cost to your business. Where can you reduce outlays? And where can you renegotiate with your suppliers to extend credit terms, to do whatever you can to make sure you're not spending wherever you can. Slow things down. If you were going to invest in something that you cannot invest with now and maybe delay it for a month or two, postpone it for a month or two, then do that. But keep marketing and selling. Absolutely vital. You need to be doing more marketing and selling now than ever. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little while. But when you're cutting back, think about this. Think about what industries are taking advantage of this now. Who are the top 10 industries now, and what can you do to help them? Who are the toilet roll manufacturers, the hand sanitizer manufacturers, Amazon, eBay, all the online services. Think about the products and services you have. Think about the top 10 industries who will benefit from this crisis, and think about what you can do to sell to them. The next thing you can look at is how you extend your credit lines. So get in now while they're still lending. You can extend your credit. Go and talk to the banks now. Think about credit lines. Think about your credit cards. What else can you do? You might want to take some credit cards out. Personal as well. You might need to use some of your personal funding to help the business at this stage. Refinance if you have to. Refinancing is always an option. Look at all the different lines you can take. Just in terms of cutting back as well, we were talking about cutting back before. People like HMRC, if you are due some HMRC payments, then I know some of our clients have already spoken to HMRC and have managed to delay payments by a couple of months to help them. So think about whether you can do that as well. There's lots of options. Find the lowest rates that you can that are out there if you need to. Because obviously the bank had the Bank of Scotland had the Bank of England had a 0.5% reduction in interest rates. So there's some great deals out there. Find the lowest rates as soon as you can before they stop offering the rates. The next thing is something that nobody wants to look at, but we're going to have to look at, which is changes to your staffing and staffing cuts. Encourage you, when you get to the stage where if you haven't got as much work coming in, don't wait till then, do it now. If you can, get your staff to take vacations that they're owed and they're due. If you can't and you need to get rid of staff, then if you're a larger organisation with lots of staff, you may be able to do it by attrition. So when people leave, you're not replacing them. If you do need to get rid of staff, if you may need to make some cuts, then do it all at once. Don't do it piecemeal, one at a time, so people are always wondering who's going to be next, who's going to be next. Make the cuts that you need to make now, because sometimes you just have to. You've got to do it to move the business forwards. And, keep your staff positive and focused by doing it in one fell swoop, and then everybody else feels safe. But you may need to talk about some other difficult stuff with your staff as well. Pay cuts are always an option. You might need, if you've got bonus programs in place, you might need to suspend bonus programs as well. Have those open conversations with your staff now. Don't wait. Don't leave them wondering what's going to happen. Make sure you can do it now. Working from home's been in the news quite recently, and it may be that some of your staff or you can work from home. Then, and if the option is there, then you need to take some steps now to make sure you can implement it as soon as possible. What technology are you going to need? Is it, have they got internet there? Have you got facilities for Zoom or Skype or networking, whatever it needs to be? How are you going to handle meetings? How are you going to handle reporting if people are working remotely? This Zoom webinar is a great idea for meetings. How are you going to handle customer service if you're working from home? How are you going to take care of that? Simple things like banking and mail. Who's going to send the mail out? How are you going to get the mail that is coming into the business? How are you going to do your banking? How are you going to handle communications right throughout the business, outside, internally, and internally? We don't know how long it's going to be. It may be weeks, it may be months. But one thing we're sure of is that probably, and my gut feeling is probably 30 to 60, 60 to 90 days, and we'll be on the way out of it. But we don't know absolutely for sure. We don't know absolutely for sure. So what do you need to do? So the next step after cutting back is to look at online deliveries. So what do you need to do in terms of online deliveries? Well, one of the biggest pharmacies in the States, CVS Pharmacy, has waived all delivery fees for prescription charges due to the coronavirus outbreak. So what can you do in your business? So if you're not doing it at the moment, you need to add delivery as an option. If you're service driven, then online or phone delivery your services. Think about those staffing changes and what you can do, and how staffing changes are going to impact your ability for online or online work or deliveries. Do you need to put extra staff into your warehousing section? Do you need to put extra staff into your goods outward section? Do you need extra staff in technology to help putting stuff online? People aren't going to come to you. You've got to go to them. Look at that CVS pharmacy example. They're starting delivering drugs to their customers rather than people coming into the shop, because they don't want people coming into the shop. So think about your packaging sections, your goods outward sections, your warehousing sections, and think about your accounts team. Are they going to be able to work from home, or are they going to be, they're going to be working online? And how are you going to run that with your accounts team? Also, communication with customers. Are you going to be able to communicate online with your customers? Think about all the different communication methods that you need to employ. Just think about what, if you can't do what you do now, how can you change it to make sure you can still service your customers? Most importantly, you've still got to market and sell. And this is more important than ever now. You've got to be doing more of it. You could do more of it than you were doing before. You've got to keep marketing. Think about the way you market and increase your marketing, not decrease. But it gives you a great opportunity to negotiate your rates with your marketing spend. Which suppliers are you using for any marketing that you're spending on? And look at negotiating rates with them. For your own customers, and your own prospects, create some new offers and some new rates for them. Make sure you're offering them exactly what they need at this moment in time. And most importantly, measure your 5 ways. Keep measuring your numbers. If you don't know what the 5 ways is because you're not an Action Coach client, then get yourself along to one of our workshops. This is really key. It's really important to understand the numbers in your business, especially in your sales and marketing. Measure your 5 ways. If you can, get cash up front from your customers. What a great way to improve your cash flow. Get cash up front. Do a deal with them. Yes, if you need to give a 10% cash up front discount for your customers paying up front, then do it. Cash flow's king. It's really, really important. Hope you're all making notes. Moving on to the next section. This is about repeat business. Your existing customers are the most important part of your business. They're your best customers. It's 5 to 7 times more expensive to win a new customer than it is to service and get an existing customer to come back and buy again from you. So how often are you keeping in contact with your existing customers? Hope you all have a database of your existing customers. If you don't, start one now, but get a database of your existing customers and keep speaking to them. Come up with new deals just for them. Make them feel like they're really special. You know, come up with other deals like bulk buys, cash up front that we talked about before. But just keep your customers at all costs. Keep them at all costs. It's much easier to keep an existing customer than to win a new one. But communication, again, it's absolutely vital to keep your existing customers by having clear lines of communication with them. Now, those are 11 quick steps you can take for your business. Because we've got 11 steps, we've got a step 12, and that's common sense and compassion. You know, step 12 is about over-delivering on your customer service. As Richard Branson said, the key is not just to set realistic customer expectations, but not just meet them, but to exceed them, preferably in unexpected and helpful ways. So how can you over-deliver on your customer service? It's also about common sense and compassion. Common sense, keep things clean. Get your disinfectant wipes out, clean all the surfaces, have hand sanitizers to hand. Don't touch when you don't need to. You know, all of our face-to-face events now, we're still going ahead with face-to-face workshops at the moment, are going to be no-touch events. We'll provide sanitizers for people. See if you can do that for your business, if you can find them. But put your people first. Put them first, and it'll work wonders for your business. Most importantly, be nice and take a chill pill. And finally, please don't buy too much toilet paper. You know, other people need to use hand sanitizers and toilet paper as well, and all the other things that are being sold out of. So have a bit of compassion for everybody else and a bit of common sense. So just to finish up, things you can do. List 5 ideas from today that you need to take action on. Get with your action coach and make a 90-day plan. You know, our next 90-day planning session, planning workshop is next week. It's Friday the 20th. And we're taking a day out of our business to sit down and do a 90-day plan. A lot of it, some of it will be around these 11 steps, but around the wider goals that you need to make in your business over the next 90 days. Imagine how clear and focused you'll be if you've got a really good plan for the next 90 days with some key action points for every week of the next 13 weeks. And from today's session, I know it's been quick, it's been intense, but list 5 ideas that you need to take action on today from today's session. This is a re-recording of this workshop because we unfortunately we had a problem with recording last time round, so we're not going to do questions and answers, but most importantly, follow up. So make sure you follow up on those actions. If you need to speak to me, give us a call at the office, drop me an email, go online on the website and go to the chat box. However you want to get in touch, but get in touch. For anybody who's interested in our Growth Club 90-day planning, we're going to do a very special deal for you. For anybody who's looked at this workshop, or looks at this this quick webinar. These sessions are normally £297 plus VAT for the session, which is once a quarter. For this session only, we're going to do the session at £95 plus VAT. So that's over £200 off. All you need to do is use the link that you can see there, which is bit.ly/ACBGC120. Action Club, Bolton, Growth Club, Q1, 2020. bit.ly/ACBGC120. Use that link, go to the booking page, use the standard ticket price, and then enter that discount code that you can see there. You'll get £200 off the normal fee, so it'll make it £95 plus VAT. Hope you've all enjoyed this. Hope it's all given you some ideas. Please, as I say, get in touch. Come along to Growth Club. Book on now. And I look forward to speaking to you again. We'll be doing lots more around this over the next few days and weeks. Thank you very much. And I'll speak to you all very, very soon.